Again, so that absolute value, those bars, that means absolute value. And what does it do? What does it do?
Turns all the numbers positive.
Turns everything positive, okay? So, again, if we have an 8 inside the bars, my answer is 8. If I have a negative 8 inside the bars, my answer is 8. Okay, if I have a negative 9 in there, my answer is 9. If I have a positive 9 in there, my answer is 9. Okay, so it turns everything positive. Okay, so when we're dealing with, as far as other stuff on the inside, okay, we have obviously two answers, okay, answer options in here, one being negative, one being positive. So we're going to say comma equals negative 63. Okay, so really you're solving two equations for one. Okay, well, how do I get the n by itself? How do I move that? We've solved equations before. What does that mean? N right next to 9. It means multiplication, so we need to divide. So we're going to say divide by 9. Okay, and we're going to do that to both equations. Okay, well, what is 63 divided by 9? Is it 7? 7. Okay, and negative 63 divided by 9 is going to be negative 7. Now, I always like to tell people, you're not always going to get one where it's positive and one where the other one is the same number and negative. Okay, you always do if it's just one multiplication or one division, but if it's addition or subtraction, it's not going to happen. Okay, so number 3, we're going to say comma equals negative 1. Okay, and how do I solve this? How do I get n by itself? What does it mean right now? What's it saying? Yeah, right now it's saying n divided by 3, so we need to do what? Times. So we're going to say times 3, times 3, times 3. Okay, well, 1 times 3 is going to be 3. Negative 1 times 3 is going to be negative 3. Okay, number 5. Okay, now we start getting a two-step, which is totally fine. You're still going to say comma and make it a negative 18. Okay, what needs move first? Away from the B. So if we're looking here, what needs move first?
The 3.
The 3. Okay, so we're going to say minus 3, minus 3. Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Okay, so on this side I got 5b equals, what is 18 minus 3?
15.
15. Negative 18 minus 3. I mean negative 21. Okay, and then we're going to divide by 5. Okay, well, what is 15 divided by 5?
3.
3. Okay, and I can almost guarantee you today you're going to need a calculator because negative 21 divided by 5 is not a whole number. Okay, so, and you do need to have that fraction simplified. So, if you don't have a calculator, get one. But you should be getting one as soon as you come into class. Okay, your phone calculators will not work for these. Okay, which you shouldn't even have your phone out anyways. Okay, so type that in, negative 21 divided by 5. Okay, so if you get a decimal, because we don't want a decimal, so in algebra, every time you have a decimal, it starts shaving numbers off. Okay, so it's kind of like if you go to the gas station and you spend $2, right, and then you go and you spend another $2, then you spend $1, eventually your money's gonna be gone, right? So they call it nickel and diming, but, okay, you spend it little by little, and then you really have nothing to show for it. Whereas if you would have saved your money, you could have bought something really big. Okay, so we don't use decimals. Okay, so if you do get a decimal, there's a button on your calculator and it says SD. It's somewhere around the green or the orange buttons. Okay, and it'll take it and turn it back into a fraction. What is that fraction? -21/5. So that means that this does not simplify because the calculator will simplify the fraction for you. Okay, so some of them it's gonna and some of them it's not. But we do not use a decimal. Can I scroll? Okay, 7. We're going to say comma equals -40. Okay, what needs moved first? The -2. So I'm going to get -7x equals, what is 40 plus 2? 42. -40 plus 2. You guys better start typing because this packet's getting done today. Whether you take it home and finish it by yourself or what, but -38. Okay, and then what's going to be our next step? Trying to get x by itself. What needs done? Divide by 7, -7. Okay, so we're going to get x equals, what is 42 divided by -7? -6, good. And -38 divided by -7. (38/7). So did that fraction reduce? No, it's still the same number. Okay, it did get rid of the negatives, which it should have. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so before we can continue, I have to show you there is a difference between 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Okay, before we can say comma and make it a negative, there can't be anything on the left side other than bar, and the stuff in between it. So see how like this 8 is hanging out outside the bar, but it's on the left side? Or this 1 is hanging out? Okay, you have to move that before you can make the negative. So the absolute value has to be by itself before you can say comma and make it a negative. Okay, so if we look at this, we need to say +8 first, +8. Okay, and so that way those 8s cancel. Now we have bar, the stuff in it, right? And -7 plus 8 is 1. Now the bars are by itself, and so now is when you're allowed to flip it and make it a negative. Okay, so now we can say comma equals -1. Okay, and now this is just like what we did before. Okay, so the bars have to be by themselves before you set it equal to the negative. Okay, and how do I solve for k? What needs moved? What needs done in here? Multiply by 7. So we're going to say times 7, times 7, times 7. Okay, so 1 times 7 is going to be 7. -1 times 7 is -7. Okay, if we look at 11, is there stuff outside the bars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? A -4, so that needs moved first. So we're gonna say +4, +4. Okay, well, these 4's cancel. Now I'm left with bar n plus 7 bar equals 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, now are the bars by themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're gonna say comma and make it a -8. Okay, and now if we're looking at the end, what needs done? Trying to get n by itself. What needs done? -7. -7, -7. Okay, so I got n equals 8 minus 7. It's going to be 1. -8 minus 7 is going to be -15. Okay, 13. Is there stuff outside the bars?
Yeah, I need to
Yes, so we need to move that first. So we're going to say +3, +3. So I got b plus 4 equals 1. Now, is there stuff outside the bars? No, so we're going to say comma and a -1. And now what needs done? I need to get everything away from the b. Subtract 4. Okay, so I got b equals 1 minus 4 is -3. -1 minus 4 is -5. Okay, 15. Is there stuff outside the bars? Yes, the 4. So we need to move that first. So we're going to say -4, -4. So I got bar, -9n bar equals 31 minus 4, 28, 27. Okay, so now are the bars by itself? Yeah, so we're going to say comma equals -27. Okay, now again, how do I get the n by itself? What needs moved? The 9 needs moved. How do I move it? Divide. We're going to say divide by -9. So I got n equals, well, 27 divided by -9. It's going to be -3. And -27 divided by -9 is going to be +3. Okay, 17. Is there stuff outside the bars? Yes, what is it? 6. Now, the same way you have like a 9n, right? And they're like right next to each other, that means times. Right here we have the 6, and it's like right next to the bar. So that means you're going to divide. Okay, so we're going to divide by 6. Okay, so now we have bar 7a minus 4 equals, well, 60 divided by 6, it's going to be 10. Okay, and so now the bars are by itself, so we can say comma equals -10. Okay, now looking at the stuff inside the bars, what needs moved? What needs moved first?
-4.
The -4, so we're going to say +4, +4, +4. So I got 7a equals, well, 10 plus 4 is going to be 14. -10 plus 4 is going to be -6. Okay, and then what needs done? Divide by 7. So a equals, well, 14 divided by 7 is 2. negative 6 divided by 7, that fraction does not reduce, it's going to stay negative 6 over 7. Okay, number 19. Is there stuff outside the bars? Yes, so it needs moved first. So we're going to say minus 9, minus 9. So I got negative, and I'm going to put a 1 there, 1r minus 6 equals something. 8? Is that 8? Okay. Okay, so now the bars are by itself, so we can say comma equals negative 8. Okay, what needs moved first? The 6. So we're going to say plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. So I get negative 1r equals 8, 10, 14, and a negative 2. Okay, and then what needs done? Yeah, the 1. So we're going to say divide by negative 1. So I'm going to get r equals negative 14 and a positive 2. Okay, 21. The 3, good. So I'm going to get bar 5 minus 1m, I'm going to put the 1 there, equals 2. Then what needs moved? The 5, yep, so we're going to say minus 5. So minus 5. I forgot something. What did I forget to do? Yeah, perfect. So comma negative 2. So minus 5 and minus 5. So I got negative 1m equals negative 3 and negative 7. How many answers should you have for all these? 2. All right, so that's why we make it negative. Okay, and then divide by negative 1. So I'm going to get m equals 3 and 7. Okay, last one, 23. What needs done first? The 2, and we're going to divide by 2, divide by 2. So I got bar negative 2n plus 7 bar equals 9. Now what needs done?
Move the 7?
There's a step before that.
Oh, negative 9?
Yep, put it as a negative 9. Okay, but then yes, how we move the 7. So I got negative 2n equals 2 and negative 16. Okay, and then what needs done? Divide by 2, negative 2. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. So we got n equals negative 1 and 8.